All right, left field. You got the same guy, Elio Ramos,
Don't
the pride
you,
of
you
Puerto Rico
your
right now.
twin. That's
Yeah,
right.
that is
He,
true. That is true.
he's been very consistent. He's
He
been
has.
very consistent, which I would get. It would drive me crazy because he'd have a game where he hit a home run, then he have another game where he strikes out like three times. It's like
Mhm.
es un poco ponchón. Es todavía medio ponchón,
No,
pero
medio ponchón. He let in between all the ones that I accumulated here. He has the
es
most strikes.
ponchón. Es ponchón.
Very.
Yeah, es ponchón. But
Mhm.
when he connects, he connects and he reminds. I'll tell you who he is. I'll tell you who he is because I'm thinking about it. He's got a little Jorge Soler in him. He's kind of Jorge Soler, but he may turn out to be better than Jorge Soler. But I'm saying he's
Yeah.
got that kind of quality where he's got you know moonshot power. He can
Yeah.
hit it out at any part. But there's a little bit of too much hit swing and miss in the game. Now, Elio, to his credit though, still hits for a decent average here and there.
Mm.
His average is still decent while striking out a ton. So for whatever that's worth.
He's swing happy.
Hmm.
A damn it. And that normally doesn't translate to average. The only guys
Right,
that I
but
can
he's
think of is like Vladimir Guerrero Sr., like there's not a lot of swing happy guys that actually hit the ball that much.
yeah. No, I'll give you another example. Back in the day in the 90s, Ivan Ivan Rodriguez was not. If you look at his he was not an on base guy. He didn't walk a lot. Ivan didn't like to. He even said it. He used to always say, "My approach is trying to find something to hit. I'm not there to just to walk. I want to hit." And Vladdy was like that. It's just a. But the difference is, guys like Vladdy and Ivan have elite bat to ball skills.
Mhm.
That's the
Yeah,
difference. So they're able to compensate for that.
I agree. Well, not to get off topic, but real quick, I do have to mention it. That kid, Jacob Wilson, the son of Wilson, right? I forgot his dad's name. Anyways,
You said the
but
son of
no, Jacob Wilson is
no,
the father.
no,
What's the name of the
no,
son?
no, no shit though. Wait, you go. The son, hey, Wilson, the son of
El
Wilson. No
Wilson.
shit, that es el apellido de él.
Nah.
Eh,
Jack
uh,
Wilson. I'm sorry.
all
Dang,
right,
he was good. He was good. But anyways, his son, basically, Jacob, he has only gotten into two or three, 3-2
counts.
counts.
That's
He doesn't get
crazy.
into 3-2 counts. I've never seen
Wow.
this before in my life. Eh, yeah, he's batting, I don't know, over 320 by now.
Yeah.
This kid is
Weird.
impressive. The
Yeah.
only thing
Yeah.
is that he's basically, what's his name? Luis Arraez type of
Right.
thing.
Right. It doesn't have a
No,
lot of pop.
a little bit more,
Doesn't-
but he just opens the field here and there. Ichiro style type of thing. Same thing with Luis Arraez, but they don't
This
take
is
base on balls ever.
that's gonna hurt his advanced metrics.
I agree.
I
Yeah,
I say this though, like it's just strictly in between the lines, like playing the game.
yeah,
For him, if this works for him, he may wind up, and he has success long term.
yeah.
He may wind up being a case study. You know, I who am I to tell him, even though the analytics frown upon it, who am I to tell him to change his approach?
Hmm.
As unorthodox as it is, he's found success with it. So he's got to keep maintaining that approach for now until he goes into a tailspin. And he
Yeah.
has to. It's a mental, Willie, it's a mental thing, bro. You know it.
Mhm.
Baseball's a mental thing. He probably doesn't, he will probably go all what do you call it? Get out of whack if he tries to change. So don't break. If it's not broken, don't
Don't
try to
break.
fix it
Yeah, don't try to fix it. You're right.
until further notice,
Yeah.
obviously.
All right. So center field. I got right here my guy, Julio Rodríguez. My
Come on,
question
you
is, why you
almost put
got Andy
that there,
Baez, bro?
bro. He played most of his games in center field.
Really? When I
Yes,
looked him up, he had most on right field. And I
they
was
switch
weird
him. They
by that.
switch. They switched
That's
him
the
though a
thing. The
lot.
Dodgers switch
They
him so
switch.
much,
That's what it is. So this was a weird one, right?
bro. Yeah.
Um, You almost put Julio Rodríguez by default.
Hmm. Yeah.
I don't know. First of all, I don't know what happened to his bro. This guy's approach
Hmm.
is terrible. I don't know what he is lost at the plate. I know he had a
Who?
decent
Julio?
month. Julio, yes.
Yeah.
Julio, he is not the same hitter. He's not. He's not
Do
the
you
same. I
think
know you love Julio, but I'm just telling you, I love Julio too. I'm
Mhm.
starting to get concerned.
offensively?
Yeah, he doesn't resemble the same player he was.
Mm. I get you. I get you. I don't know, man. I can't give up right now. Not gonna lie. I'm gonna die on that island into
No,
hasta que se
mira,
la
I'm
lleve.
not, mira, no, yo entiendo, es entendible. Oye, pero you gotta speak with numbers on numbers. Like,
Mhm.
look at that on base percentage and
It's
compare
weird.
it to his batting average.
It's
How many what?
pitiful. It's
Where is
pitiful.
his and watch him. You got the MLB package. Watch him every
Yeah.
day at bat to at bat. What is that? What happened to? He used to be a little better than that with his approach. Like
Mhm.
what happened to his? He was not gonna be Mike Trout with the approach, but
Mhm.
he had a better approach. I feel like his mechanics are all over the place still, and that worries me a little bit.
I get you. But you don't. Why? On that case, like, why do you have Edgar Martinez right there? Which can see everything. Believe me, that guy can see everything. Eh,
Right,
I
right.
don't know. I feel like it's some. I'm not gonna get into the mental thing, but at some point, I think he feels the pressure.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
Of
think
course,
he
of course.
knows that I gotta start hitting because I know that I don't know. Like you start every year too slow. So maybe he's putting so much pressure into him to say, you know what, I just gotta let it go. And to your point, his approach is not calculated to this
No,
point. It doesn't seem like he calculates. I mean, there's some young players that you can tell that. I mean, even Rafael Devers at his young age was a very calculated player. I
he
don't
had
know
more of a
how.
plan. He had more of a plan. He had
It's
more
a
of a
plan.
plan.
Correct. Julio Rodriguez doesn't have a plan when he goes to play. I
No,
know what you
no.
mean. I know you can see it.
Yeah, and whereas a couple years back, I don't know if it was that it worked for him, where he was kind of hitting early in the count, or we didn't notice that he didn't walk much. I feel like he used to walk a little more.
Mhm.
He was not gonna be a Juan Soto walking, but he
Yeah, no,
used to
of
walk
course.
more. He used to work the count a little better.
I
And
agree.
somewhere along the line, he's lost that. Now, but you said what Edgar is an interesting thing, right? And this may be a hot take. I think hitting coaches are overrated. And I'll tell you why. Because hitting is such an individualized thing. When a hitter is at the major league level, they think about it, right? They've been playing ball for so many years. This is what was successful for them to get to that point. So
Mhm.
then the onus, what they call the onus, is next on the player to make the adjustments, right?
Mhm.
Now, Edgar can say, hey, Julio, you know, they're getting you on the backdoor slider, whatever. I'm just making an example. I don't know that,
Yeah.
right? Julio, watch out for the whatever. They keep getting you on this count, right? But at the end of the day, the hitter has to make the adjustment. And the hitter, you know, every hitter hits differently. Julio Rodriguez is not going to be like an Edgar Martinez style that got on base a million times, going to work the count, patient, hit the ball opposite field or all over the place. That's not his style, you
Mhm.
know. So I always think that the hitting coach can do is almost like a therapist. But at
I
the end of the
got you.
day, it falls on the hitter to the hitter's got to go in the box and take his 4 at bats.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, the best example is the Marlins and Barry Bonds. What can you do? What can
You
you really
can't
do?
teach. Listen, and if you notice, right, a lot of these great big name hitting coaches, how many of them have panned out? Like you can't teach Barry Barry Bonds or
Mhm.
before give me the name Edgar. These guys like these guys had great hands, like they were great hitters. Like you can't teach, especially Barry. Like you can't teach anybody to be as great. For you, the game was so easy because
Mhm.
you're you and because
Yeah,
you worked hard at it. You know?
Correct. I think that I mean that's for me throughout all of sports. I mean, great players
Yeah,
throughout the
right.
years cannot manage, cannot
Nope.
coach. They can't
Nope.
do shit. That's why Alex
No.
Cora is so good. That's
Right,
why
right.
well,
Dave
Joe Torre
Roberts. Dave
was
Roberts
great.
was
Joe Torre
decent,
was great. But yeah, Dave Roberts was good. Was decent. Yeah, you're right. He was decent.
but he was not a star. He was, yeah.
He was all right. He knew his place. But
Right.
basically,
He was right.
that's why I don't think that Barry Bonds can teach you. Nobody can teach you. It's all about your approach for MLB players. The only guy, like I said, that was swing happy and was able to make a career out of it, and I think he intimidated a little bit on that, was Vladimir Guerrero Sr.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
But then when watching the interviews after a while, I mean, Juan Soto, Manny, David Ortiz, Jeter. I mean, you go and on and on and on. Barry Bonds, same shit. It's basically they had an approach,
Right.
and
Yeah.
if they didn't like what was coming, they either do two things: um, either they just conform to it and they didn't even swing to it because they were waiting a pitch, or like Derek Jeter, he would make his adjustment on the play. Take a timeout. Let me
Right. Right.
whatever.
Yep. Yep.
I know that we started with Julio Rodriguez. He doesn't do that. All right, right field. I'm sorry, you're center field. My bad.
The center field. All right.
Yeah.
Andy Pajes.
Okay. Okay.
Andy Pajes to me now, obviously we're splitting hairs because
Mhm.
the number of the way they shift the Dodgers love moving people around and all that stuff.
I
So,
know. I know.
but obviously, look, Andy Pajes, you know his numbers. He put up really good numbers. He was very consistent in the month, and
Hmm.
his defense at center field in particular, right field, he can be great there. But in
Yeah.
center field, he's been more than adequate. And
I agree.
I've been impressed. He's been really good.
He might be the real deal, man. He
I
might be
hope
the real
so.
deal.
I hope so. I like what I'm seeing from him. I hope so, man. Baseball's better when you have,
Hmm.
you know, speaking from the Latino standpoint, it's good when you have a Cuban star, you have a Dominican stars, Venezuelan stars. It's better like that, you
Yeah,
know.
I agree.
And I'm not saying it in a bad way, but it's like, you know, how many how many Dominican and Venezuelan players can we have? I mean, I and I say this with all due respect. It's like, está bueno ya. Like we need
Too
more.
many.
You know what I mean? Like there's got to be a little more variety here. So
I
I
got you.
like what I'm seeing with that, and Mexican players now doing their thing.
Of course.
It's healthy for the game.
I agree. All right. And next, I got right field. Of course, on that case, I did put Andy Baez on that one.
Tony Baez.
But who you got?
So at right field, I might surprise you with this one, but I got Nick Castellanos.
Mm,
So Nick
okay.
Castellanos had a good offensive month. A lo callao. So Nick Castellanos hit 300, which for Nick Castellanos to hit 300 is a
That's
good month.
incredible.
He's
That's
very
incredible.
streaky. Yeah,
Mhm.
I think that's the reason why I put it because it was Nick Castellanos and he
Yeah.
hit 300.
I mean,
Two home runs, 14. I would have put Fernando Tatis if he didn't have such a terrible epic slide because his last 2.5 weeks,
mhm,
dreadful,
yeah,
dreadful, dreadful. I mean, he started the month okay, and then he just went
down the drain.
like down the
Yeah.
tubes, man. It's like I love his defense. I would always take him. I always say that to me, defensively, he's the best right fielder
Mhm.
defensively in the sport, and I don't
Yeah.
think it's particularly close. Para lo que me digan hater,
You are a
I
hater.
think
Nah,
he,
I'm kidding.
yeah, I am a hater, right? But I admit, that he's defensively, forget it.
Mhm.
My issue with him is always he's so inconsistent. He'll hit for a month, then he'll take the next month off,
Yeah.
and or then he'll get hurt in between.
Yeah,
So
that's the part.
yeah,
I prefer that he's on a slump, because everybody goes through slumps than actually getting hurt. We
Yeah,
all know.
I know. So that was it. Nick Castellano, not very, not a sexy name,
No, I
not
know, I
event,
know.
but I was running out of guys, man. So
All right. So the next one I got is DH. I think everybody on their mama
oh,
got him.
come on, man. Not Mister. I'm not playing. I'm not gonna play first base.
Mister, I'm not playing nothing but DH.
Nothing. Ellos me
Damn.
dijeron
Mhm.
que me guardara guante.
All right.
Yo no tengo
What's
guante.
we're gonna say Rafael Devers, 7 home runs, 33 RBIs, led, right? I think it was 4 or 5th in WAR, and
No,
that's
he's been
being
great
a
for
DH.
DH. That's yeah. No, that's
350,
impressive.
356 average. I mean,
He's
amazing,
been great. Tearing
amazing
the
man.
cover off the ball. Yeah, yeah. No, that's how you respond.
Now
That's
tell
how
me,
you respond to criticism.
and I've seen your reels, I've seen everything. Give me your opinion on everything that happened with him.
I think with Devers, like I think there's a lot that's above him. There's a lot of going on upstairs. And I'm talking about more specifically the GM Breslow. Um, Breslow was a former major leaguer, and I feel like there's a power struggle going on behind the scenes. There has to be something going on, um, there because something is off. Breslow didn't bring in Alex Cora, which we've talked about offline before. That's not his guy. Cora's like a ownership favorite, right? He has history, but he didn't bring him in. So I think in future, in the near future, I think the relationship between Alex Cora and the general manager or the president of baseball operations is something to watch. Um,
Yeah.
and nobody's talking about this, but I think there's some tension there. Um, between he, Devers, not he meaning Breslow and Devers. And I think Cora kind of got caught in the middle of it where, I don't think it was fair that they were trying to scapegoat him and make him look like he was the one who, like as if he holds all the cards.
Correct.
Él era otro empleado más,
Correct.
and I believe, I believe this. I believe, think about it. Like Cora had such a great relationship with players. Like
Hmm.
historically, especially with Latinos, you never heard controversy with him with
I
players.
agree.
When?
I agree.
When? So I think he deserves the benefit of the doubt when it comes to Devers in the fact that they have a good rapport. I believe that. I just think that there's a power struggle going on, and Breslow's like, "Hey, you got to do this," and Cora's kind of in a tough spot.
Yeah, and I think that was one of the topics eventually that we were going to touch on. Do you think he's out? Do you think Cora is out this year?
Wow, that would be a hot take. Um, you know what? Screw it. This will be the last year for Alex Cora in Boston. This is it. He's gonna want his own guy. He's gonna want his own guy.
Mhm.
Y el Latino. I'm sorry, I hate to take it there, but something is off. Especially look at this. Look at the way they're not playing up to potential. That team has talent.
Mhm.
Boston has. They don't have the best starting pitching. Don't get me wrong, but
Yeah.
they got resources to make a trade here and there when the time comes, and they have more than enough offense to make up for it. They have a good farm system, a deep farm system. They have a decent defensive team, pretty good. Defensively they're pretty good. Um, they have speed, they have athleticism, they have a good mixture of youth and veteran. What am I missing? I think they're severely underachieving.
Mm. I am with you. I am with you 100%. And I just hope that it doesn't affect their prospects because they have really good prospects coming out of the
Yeah,
pipeline.
yeah,
Marcelo Myers, the uh, Roman Anthony, which is number one right now. I
that's
hope
right.
it doesn't affect them. And I think two people are out. I think Alex Cora is gonna be out, gonna fire his ass, and then a Rafael Devers is gonna be traded.
Yeah.
Because
That's a
right
good, yeah,
now,
yeah.
Rafael Devers is a steal of a contract. Making
For
25,
today,
whatever he
yeah.
is right
For
now.
today's money, right? For
He
today's
was
contract. Yep.
overpaid at the
Back then,
time,
that
but
yeah.
now this is a steal of a contract. I mean, I want him. You know, as a Yankees guy, I'm like, yeah, bring him in. He got no
Yeah, but it's
beard.
not. They're not going to
You know,
trade him to the Yankees.
I know, I know,
So
but
where would you trade? I'm sorry, I don't want to cut you off.
yeah, no, I got you.
Where would you trade him to if you were okay? I guess I'm not gonna look at it that way,
No.
and so because that's not as interesting. Who would you if you're a team looking for a bat? Who would you try to? What team would go after him? You think?
To be honest, if the DH is the spot and if he's willing to go into first base, I would love to see him in San Diego. Because San Diego,
Ooh,
eh, two things. They want Jarren Duran. They've done trades before. I'll give you Devers, eat the whole contract, and we'll give you Jarren Duran, but you gotta give me the Ethan Salas kid. You gotta give me Leo De Vries. You gotta give me so many prospects that are top notch right there, and you're gonna get ready big leaguers right now. You got Jarren Duran and you get Devers right there with you. Just give me
you know
some of
what's
those prospects
funny?
that you have.
That's interesting. I think the Vries I take yes.
Mhm.
Ethan Salas,
I know, I
I
know.
don't know. He is where's the production?
No, there's no
He's
production.
supposed to be a top prospect. Like I guess if they'll take him, right? If they'll take him, you ship him out as fast as you can
Of
because
course.
God knows his value ain't gonna go up from here.
No, no, no,
So
no, for sure. That's it. I mean, this if he doesn't produce at some level, last time that we see him on the top 100 prospects,
he's not
like
doing anything. Look at his numbers
nothing.
this year. He's not doing anything. Where's the where's the
The
production?
potential, the thing with him is that he was so young and he was going up the ranks so fast. But if you're
They
not
messed him
if
up.
you're not batting, then
No, no.
like what's the deal here? I mean,
They
yes,
tried to
they might mess him up.
accelerate.
Mhm.
They did mess him up. They tried to accelerate that. I saw they had the guy up at like double A and triple A at like 17. Like, what are you doing? Like they were I think it was like 17 that they had
Yeah,
him,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Double A San Antonio or whatever the hell it is. That I'm like, what are they doing with this guy? Like, don't you have to like, I don't know, maybe I'm naive. Like, don't you have to actually hit first in a certain level? Then you can kind of push him. You can move him quickly, but come on, like I, he hasn't lived
I
up to the hype.
Not at all, not at all. Leo is a better prospect. I'll say
Yeah,
that,
he
and he's
is.
younger
He
now,
is.
right?
Yeah. No,
And
Leo's intriguing.
he's very intriguing. I think he's a kid that I don't know, another shortstop for San Diego. I think that they will ship him out because I think they have enough, right? I think they'll ship him up if they give him Devers and Jaren Duran. I think that there's no question about it.
I mean,
They'll
Durán
take him.
fits perfect in San Diego. I mean, just
I mean,
for obvious
of
reasons.
course, bro.
Ca- I mean, that's marketing. Like
Mhm.
that's out of here.
That's a
Like in
no-brainer.
Boston, he will never be as big a star in Boston as he would be in San Diego. No chance. That is gonna be like
No, no, no. It's raining money.
raining
Raining
money.
money.
That's such a great like.
He is
Forget
from
it.
Cali. He's
Mexican
Mexican,
American. Yeah.
American. Everything you want, San Diego wants. I hope that they don't send them to like a what is it, Anaheim or some shit like that. I
Ugh.
really hope that they ship him to San Diego. That's perfect.
Yeah. Yeah. You
I
know
can
what? The
already see him with the
Anaheim.
pink stuff. He has swagger too. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
imagine
He does.
him, Tatis. He might be butting heads a little bit with Machado, but
No, no, I don't
he's
think
so
so.
young.
I don't think
You don't
so.
think
It,
so?
it would be no because Machado, you know, no Duran. I mean, Duran does come across as a fiery guy.
Yeah,
I
he does.
admit, but I think he'll be happy being back in Southern California and stuff. Like I think he'd be excited.
Yeah.
I don't think, especially a really good player like that. I think he'd welcome him with open arms. Honestly.